Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. It is a Saturday, and a very rainy Saturday here in Nova Scotia. Unfortunately, we've had like a record amount of rain, which has caused some flooding, thunderstorms, all kinds of nonsense. So for anybody that's local, I hope you're safe and property is safe and all that kind of stuff. There's been a few roads washed out around the province. Some people are stranded in different communities, so fingers crossed everybody's okay. And very small inconvenience for me comparatively. The thunderstorm that was coming through went over Dartmouth at about 4 a.m. this morning. So if I am a little out of it today, it's because I've already been up for an entire day. and now we're starting work now. So it should be interesting. But we are in Westhill here on the Citadel server, which is 6 years old. Westhill is 2.5 years old, and we're getting close as we start to do the decorative bits outside the walls and landscaping and things like that around the outside. So we're going to pick up where we left off on Thursday, right here on the south lawn, where we used azalea, jungle, mangrove leaves, and the big thing that worked out for us is the cherry blossom leaves to create kind of a vine situation happening here on the south wall. We're going to continue some of this. I don't know if I'm going to pull the cherry blossoms this way. I feel like I want those to be special. And if you're down here, they do look really nice under this main kind of throne room area above in the keep. So I think we're going to keep them kind of where they are. It does feel a little lopsided because we don't have any green happening over here. So I might see what I can do over there as well. But we're going to do stuff like this, I think, along the wall. This is the kind of thing I'm looking to do out this way. So we'll just kind of keep cracking. I've got an inventory full of stuff, so like we're all set to go. I am going to turn off shaders though, because my frame rate is being stupid. Dry over here across the bridge, but wow, that was not a great sleep. Sloppy pecan pie. I did not know that you were local. That's awesome. Very cool. Nice to meet you. We've got some regulars in chat as well, of course. MindTripMedia. Thank you very much for the 100 bits, MindTripMedia. Appreciate the support. Voldare, Dan Grice. We got Obu is always around. All right, so we were working on some wall-related stuff. I think I can put some of this away. We were done with it, I think. However, I need to restock all of like the dirt, mud. I want some more mangrove. Keep the moss in the saplings, grass, regular dirt, slabs. I feel like that's about right. If we're going to be above ground, we don't need seagrass. I will take regular grass though. Ferns. I can't think of anything else that we might want to do along here. Maybe I should go take a look at this, the garden behind the church. Got kind of this wild growth. And it took a long time to get it right, but it does look really good. And I think this is how I want to fill the space on the south lawn. It's just with bushes and moss and grass. And it's just, I think I just kind of went off the cuff. Oh, I got a couple of wildflowers up here. Maybe I should grab some white flowers. That would be good. I did end up putting a couple of little bushes down. That's good to know. Yeah, it's not overly complicated. I think we can get this done, no problem. You know, more and more, I like the southern approach to the town. I know the front gate is really fancy and special, but I like the depth of having the fishing village outside the town, and then the highest part of the walls behind it. A really cool contrast. Oh, pink petals. We may need those. I don't want to cover up too much of this because I like the gradient that we've got going there. So I think what we'll do is we'll start in the corner. What biome are we in? Sunflower Plains, okay. I think maybe I'll switch this for jungle. I feel like this stuff is always something you have to just eyeball. It's not always something you're going to be able to do right the first time. You kind of have to just don't have too strict of a plan. I think I'm going to send this higher. Sometimes you can use the vines to overlap when you feel like you might have too much of the same block. You know, like I've got a lot of tuff here, and by putting a vine there, it kind of breaks it up a little bit. I think I might grab a flowering azalea instead for there. Yeah. Scaffolding. Well, thanks, Dan. Yeah, I mean it's nice that it's all come together fairly quickly in the end. You know, like I feel like the things that I was worried about in terms of walking around and it always feeling a little bit unfinished, I feel like that's starting to subside a bit. Yeah, that works. And we'll need, so we got some dirt. Okay. So I apologize if I'm a little on the low energy side today. Like I said, the storms around here definitely brought an early wake up call. I saw a tweet from someone locally that was like, well, we have a household with 2 dogs. There's no sleep happening tonight. And apparently the dogs were not happy with the thunder. As someone that's looking to eventually own a dog, I imagine it must be really tough, you know, in terms of thunderstorms. I mean, like, you can either have dogs that like will freak out and be noisy, or, you know, and be scared, or maybe even just be scared. And like that alone, I would feel so bad. I mean, how do you comfort you know, an animal that's scared of thunder and lightning and stuff when like you can't you can't make the weather stop, you know? I've seen some videos on TikTok where dogs are like hiding in the darkest room in the house. One guy, I think he was in like Florida or something, and at any rate, the whole house was like tile, like the whole place had a didn't look like it had a basement, and the dogs were in the bathroom, and the bathroom, I don't even think it had a window, so they might have been in an apartment or a condo or something, but the dogs were all huddled. I think there was 2 of them or 3 of them. They were all huddled in the bathroom on the tile floor. They weren't like cowering or anything like that, but they certainly weren't out near the windows or out in the main rooms. Voldare says my cat is like that. She has a few spots she runs when it's loud outside. Now that makes sense, you know, like, and I could see dogs maybe if they're crate trained, you know, like going and getting into the crates or whatever is comfortable for them. That's kind of in the way of what I just did. Oh, I was meant to get flowers, wasn't I? Did I bring them? I don't know if I brought them. I think tulips are going to look a little bit weird. They're the only short flower we have in Minecraft that's pink. And they're not the same pink as the cherry blossoms, which is a little frustrating. So I think we'll stick with the white. And what I was doing over at the other spot was like picking spaces where they could be a little bit hidden or overlapping. Still quite bright. I think maybe I'll put them over here so they'll be their own thing. I don't want them to compete with how cool the pink cherry blossoms look. How does the moss block look? I think the bush might be better. The leaf block. Yeah. And I think what we'll do is we'll put that over there. Oh, that feels a little bit even, doesn't it? Too spaced out. Sometimes it's just best to leave a space empty. Yeah. I feel like anything I put in there is going to hide the flowers or pull away from the little hint of pink. This is where I wish we had either lower heights of grass or different, like different random pixels for grass. Like I want the grass to be more than just either 1 high or 2 blocks high. Like I think it would be better if we had a bunch of different kinds of grass. Just randomly, like all one grass item in the game, but similar to the wheat texture that I have, which I guess I could do that. Like I could make like a grass variant that would make things a little bit better, but then you're stuck with, like, when you do it that way, you're stuck with whatever random choice the texture pack gives you rather than the control, and that was better. Single. Yeah, I mean, I think that filled in quite quickly. Now, something I do like as a trick to soften the edges of things like this is we can come in here and we can create a softer edge to this by adding some bushes. This is where I really want, like, half slab leaf blocks or half blocks. Thunderstorms and lightning is something a dog in Iceland never has to worry about. Instead, they get volcanoes. Wow. Yeah, maybe dogs in Italy would have the same problem too. Once had a dog so afraid of thunder that she associated the flash of a camera with it and it was impossible to get a picture of her. Oh no, Squealet, that's rough. I guess the thing to do is to hope that, you know, when you're oh gosh, what's it called? I know why people do it and I know the importance of it. It's like when you take your puppy to like a parking lot and you just kind of sit there and desensitize them to like cars and traffic and people, and just you hang out with them and they kind of get the sensation that it's safe. Like none of this weird new noise and, you know, commotion is dangerous, or, you know, because you're there comforting them, they're okay with it. I'm trying to remember what that's called. That's weird that I'm blanking on that. But I would imagine if you had a puppy and there was a thunderstorm, like if you approached it correctly, you know, like if the dog associated a thunderstorm with like getting treats and getting pets and hanging out with, you know, the owner, and like I feel like that could be good. This was actually just temporary the other day. This is kind of throwing me off, so we'll take this down. I do want to have some sort of vine situation here, but I'd rather go from scratch. I think we might start it over here. So the cool thing about the different leaves that we're using is that jungle looks like light colored mangrove leaves, but it looks like dark colored azalea. So as we've got azalea here, what we can do to kind of keep things a little bit more interesting is have jungle kind of down here, and then when we start to go vertical with it, it will it feels a little bit more like this is in shadow, which is cool. Oops. Yeah, I think that'll work. I don't want to get too carried away here. I'd like to have some stuff still be a little bit dark on the bottom. Don't want it to all be super light. Oop, that's the wrong thing. This is where I wish I had a bigger hotbar. It would be a lot more convenient. I guess I don't need this necessarily. Now, unfortunately, it's only mangrove leaves that we can hang propagules from. It's too bad. Exposure therapy? No, that's not quite what it is. Squeal it. It's weird that I can't think about it. About what the technical name is. Dan is saying, there's Pink, where's Cosmic? Cosmic had some family stuff on the go today. So they're taking care of that. I think it was Minecraft related, actually. Like, I think it was like a cool family thing. I know it's not much, but it does create a slight height difference by adding the carpets along there. I think works out pretty well. Some of this might affect the way that we've got the wall pattern as well. If I cover up too much on the wall, I might change the way that the andesite is going. I don't know if I brought any andesite out here. Actually, I might have to go get some. So this, I want to see if I can snake it into this kind of indentation in the wall. Yeah, that looks good from that angle. And this is where the carpet helps too. The other thing that we could check out is see if I can see what cave vines. They might be a little bit too bright. Do I have any? Yes, I do. Gotta remember we've got glow lichen too. So, but next time it gets dark, before I sleep, maybe I'll see what I can come up with. Oh, do they have to go on a solid block? I remember having this problem before. That's so... that's frustrating. That would look so good hanging underneath that. That would be a good data pack, allowing you to put cave vines under leaf blocks. What is it? It was the hanging roots that we did over here, but they can only be hung under mangrove roots, because mangrove roots, despite being transparent, they act like a solid block as far as attaching things to them. Like, for example, I think, right, you can't put a torch on a bush, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, see? Weird. I don't want Mojang to fix that if that's a bug. I want that functionality attached to some of these leaf blocks. So that's going to need, I think, probably a little bit of color. So we'll certainly add some flowering azalea to that. Question is, where? There, maybe? Maybe that one? I'm trying not to be obvious about it. I think we'll do that one too. It's nice to finally be adding some color too. I feel like this build has been very gray for a long time. Actually, let's remove the carpet on that top one. Yeah, the only thing I can think of as far as that puppy training technique would be like desensitizing, but that's not what it was. Because I saw some really cool things where people that have big dogs like Great Danes, Cane Corsos, in some cases XL bullies, would like call ahead and speak with like the security at a shopping mall, and then come in on a non-busy day and just like walk the dogs around the mall and get them used to a different environment, getting used to a lot of people around, that kind of thing. And as like also behavioral training, that kind of thing. I thought it was cool. Nice that the malls allow that. I would imagine there'd be some that would just be like flat no. But apparently, like home improvement stores, places that have like concrete floors and great big wide aisles and stuff, like Home Depot, I guess, is known for being dog friendly, and people can bring the dog in. They can put the dog in the shopping cart if it's a puppy, or if it's a full size dog, then the dog can be on the ground on a leash, obviously. But the whole thing is meant to help dogs kind of get more exposure and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Now, do we want to change any of the blocks? I think one thing we could try to play with would be some mossy bits. And I'm gonna go get some azalea. Not azalea. Andesite. I don't know what to do with this alley. Just strange little spot. Like, I'm okay with it to here, but I feel like, I mean, this is a neat little space too, but I don't know what to do about all of this. This feels so bland, you know? I guess we could throw in some bricks here and there. Yeah, I think that helps a little bit. I wonder what this would look like if it was a mossy brick. I guess the only trick there is that that's going to change how it looks inside. No, that's a little bit too eye-catching. Let's go with the regular brick instead. Oh, I didn't bring one of those, which means it's probably on the inside. Crap. Alright, I have to go get those too. It's good that I've actually got that hole in the wall because we can pop to the other side and kind of see where we are inside the basement. Because unfortunately, in some places, I don't have a double thick wall. Maybe I have to make one. We'll bring some cracked... Oh, I don't have enough room. Well, that could be... It could be a double wall. Oops. I like the idea of this being like some dungeon cells. Would make sense. Oh, that's odd looking. Just noticed that. Hold on. It's a little weird, but we might be able to make it work. One thing we could do is change the space. We've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so this could actually come out more. We wanted this to have some depth. I'd have that come out. I'll leave that there as a little reminder, maybe. That would make that look a little bit more robust too, and then we could have that feel like a little bit more supported, which could be cool. We do that over here? Sort of. We've got like a half arch there. So maybe we can come over and do like a little half arch there. That would make sense. Similar to that. Oh, nighttime. What kind of dog was I thinking about getting? An American Bully, and they are, I mean, they're their own breed now, but they started off in the 80s and the 90s as a cross between Staffordshire Bull Terriers, not American Bulldogs. Yeah, it's like a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, English Bulldog, and American Staffordshire Terrier, I want to say, plus pit bulls like Pit Bull Terrier. But they've been bred as a companion breed, so they're not as they don't have a lot of terrier in them anymore. They're mostly bulldog, and so they're not super high energy. Like, they're athletic, and I mean, if you get one of the bigger ones, like the XL bullies are like 120 pounds sometimes, and like they're athletic dogs, but they're not runners. Like, they're more like dog sports, like pulls and swimming and diving and like course running, that kind of stuff. And they come in different sizes. I'm not all about the little ones. I find the little ones look kind of sickly. So the micro bully, and those are the ones that you see in the news that'll be like getting like $10,000 as like a, you know, for stud fees and like all that kind of stuff. They look awful. They don't look like they're a happy animal at all. So I like either the standard size. When I was looking to get one for an apartment, now that I'm more house hunting, really the size doesn't matter because I like big dogs. I don't mind medium-sized dogs, but 60 pounds, that kind of thing, that's fine. But when I was looking for an apartment, I was looking at a pocket bully, and pocket bullies, they're just shorter. Like they're the same sort of American bully style dog, but they have just shorter legs, and again, not super high maintenance as far as exercise. I mean, you still need to walk them twice a day, but like it's not like having an Amstaff or a border collie or something that is just used to running and herding and like has all those drives, Pit bull, same idea. There's a lot of terrier in a pit bull, and so you want to have a lifestyle that works with that, or property. Like, so for me in an apartment, an American bully pocket size was good because they're only like, I think at the most they're like 17 inches or 18 inches at the shoulder, at the withers, and then anything over 18 up to 20 I think is a standard bully, and then anything over 20, or I think maybe 22 and over, is an XL bully. XL bullies are the ones that get a bad rap in the news because people don't understand that bad dogs are because of bad owners, not because of breeds. So you'll see specifically in England, it feels like, but you'll see American bullies, XL bullies in the news as like dangerous animals and stuff. It's like, when really it's just irresponsible ownership. I almost got one, actually. I had put in a request with my landlord, and I had talked to a breeder because I wanted to kind of line things up, and ultimately my landlord said no, which is frustrating. I won't get into the details. I wish we had more tenant rights and protections in Nova Scotia, but we do not. And then I think it was a pocket bully. I would say it would have probably been a pocket-sized bully had I got the puppy. I had pictures, I had, travel arrangements, I had everything lined up. It was just a matter of permission, which I didn't end up getting. Whoops. Good choice, says Squealet. American bully dogs are very sweet fuzzballs. Yes, no, they seem like really, really compassionate and chill animals. This is the other thing too, is like I work from home full time, so like it's also a good dog to have as like someone that's just around all the time. There's a rescue organization where you live that specializes in getting them and all bullies away from owners that keep them chained. Nice, yeah. I've seen some really cool videos on YouTube because of all the research I did, of course, into the breed and what I might want to get. I ended up seeing a lot of stuff in my YouTube feed about like people rescuing dogs and rescuing strays, and you see like those, turnaround videos where the person finds a dog and they're full of fleas and they're starving, and it's some bully, some backyard puppy mill that either got shut down or something happened, and then someone takes in this stray dog that looks like death, and then you fast forward 6 months after all the care that goes into it, and it's like a completely different animal, and it's really, really cool to see that transformation. Because I've never owned a dog, my friends growing up always had dogs. So I've been around them, and I've had some partners that have had dogs, but it's, as a first-time dog owner, I would go with a breeder just because I would want to know the dog's history, rather than adopting a dog. I feel like I can do something slightly different here. Maybe time to put in some of those smaller bushes. Did I use any trees? I don't know if I used azalea saplings much over here. I don't think I did much above ground with them. They were in the ground, but not really exposed. Oh, we can still do it. Yeah, I did it there. Let me try it over here. Maybe that's what we'll do here. See, there's a good example of probably wanting to switch this around. What do I not need right now? I guess I can put the bricks in here. Squealet says you're a sucker for husky and malamutes. Long-haired husky that would never bark but yodeled. She would talk to me and nag me when I stayed out too late. Best dog I ever had. Yeah, I've had a friend that had a husky for a long time. I've always felt that huskies were really noisy, but I think that's like something I've probably seeing from social media that is maybe not always the case. But one of the things that I liked about, I know that all dogs bark and you're going to have some potential noise no matter what. But I thought that American bullies are not as noisy as others in most cases. And then something like a husky for me would be a risk at the time in an apartment. I also have like cat allergies, and I know I'm not allergic to dogs, but I feel like in some cases just dust and that kind of stuff can bug me anyway. And again, while I do work from home and I understand that all dogs have certain levels of maintenance, something like a husky that would require a lot of grooming and things like that, I didn't want to quite go that deep into maintenance. And I know that short-haired dogs still shed and all that kind of stuff. It's just that for me, it was one of those things that I was considering. Even down to just like the inconvenience of having dog hair on your furniture and on you and all that kind of stuff. Which still happens again with short dogs, but it's much less noticeable, I think. I like the personality that huskies have. Like I feel like they can be pretty cool. Whip has at least one, if not two huskies, I think. They're not like super long haired though. I think they're short haired huskies. Hopefully this is somewhat interesting. I know I'm not talking much about what I'm doing, but there's really just kind of like it's more like a trial and error situation. Now here's where we can probably sneak in a flower. I would say maybe back there. That's kind of big. Yeah, I think that's okay. It's so weird. You just get so used to having these colors everywhere. You forget sometimes that you can add brighter stuff than, to me, green is so bright because I've been working with gray and brown for so long. So to go into some brighter yellows and whites is a little bit strange. I guess I could also get in here with some ferns too. That's the other thing I'm not thinking about. Whoops. That feels a little bit too evenly spaced. I don't want to get too overboard with vines creeping up the walls. I want them to feel kind of special, like that feels special. We could use a little bit going on here. Maybe just one of these. I feel like it would be growing away from the shade of this wall, you know? Yeah. Maybe we can do this. That's more interesting, I think. Something about this piece I don't like. Maybe this just has to go in this other direction. Yeah. I mean, after a while, there's only so many different ways you can make a vine crawl up a wall. No wardrobe is complete without dog hair. Nice, Squealet. Yeah, if Whip has two short-haired huskies, they are definitely the loud variety. Mine made no noise except to talk when she found elk or bears. That was fun. That's cool. I'm trying to think. I don't remember. It's a sad case. Nico the Bully is a social media account that I quite like. Unfortunately, Nico passed away. And there's something fishy going on with it, and it feels like there's a lot of drama. So I've tuned out from that particular feed. Oh gosh, I can't remember the other dog's name, but there's there's a Staffordshire Terrier and American Bully, Pocket Bully. I think it's Tuk Tuk and Lulu. Tuk Tuk is definitely the name of the bully, but I don't remember the name of the other dog. But if you look up Tuk Tuk on social media, you will absolutely find this pairing of like Lulu and Tuk Tuk, or whatever the name is for the social media feed. Tuk Tuk is a little bit more of a potato than I would like for a dog. He seems really, really sedentary. A lot of English Bulldog vibes. But yeah, there's a couple of people I follow on TikTok that have XL bullies, and they're really, really handsome dogs. I don't like the ones that get too jowly. Does that make sense? Like if there's too much Cane Corso or too much bulldog in them, they get really droopy and drooly and everything. Kind of, their face looks really sad all the time. I really like the tighter muzzle look of pit bull type or Amstaff. Staffordshire Terriers have the same sort of, there's the rain. Staffordshire Terriers have the same sort of tight look to their face compared to XL bullies a lot of the time. Some XL bullies, because the breeds are so varied and because the look is so varied, some of the XL bullies have a really nice look to them. And I also prefer, it's hard when you're looking at breeders, because if they're breeders, they're usually people that show their dogs. And if they show the dogs, they ultimately, depending on what state or province they're from, they often crop the ears. And I'm not a fan. Well, one, it's illegal in everything but one province in Canada, I think. I think Ontario or Alberta might be the only place that you can still crop dogs' ears, which is dumb because it doesn't really serve any purpose other than just aesthetics. And I like the look of an American Bully with full ears. So, plus, where I live in a province where it is not legal, I don't want to have the conversation over and over and over again explaining to people, no, I did not crop them. They were cropped by somebody else, not here. Like, so I would just, and thankfully when I was talking to various breeders, they all had, like, the option was available. So the decision wasn't made until the puppy was given a home, and then it would be up to the person that got the dog as to whether or not it would have its ears cropped. Maybe we'll switch these. Elcor95 raiding with a party of 13, just as Dan suggests that it might be time for a break. Appreciate the heads up, Dan. We're going to hang out for a little bit more just because obviously Elcorn and crew just got here. Stardust, Elcorn, True Purple, welcome in. Storm Dance, good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Elcorn, what were you up to on stream today? I did notice that you were streaming when I started, but I wasn't sure what you were up to because I had to start myself. True Purple, I love that reference. Elkhorn Raid, the herd is the word up. 54 months in a row. Tier 1 subscription from True Purple. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. By the way, that reminds me, for folks that are in my live chat, can you hear the sound effects when the notifications go off for things like raids and subs like that? I feel like the visuals have been working, but the audio has not been working, because I switched over to OBS Studio, and I think I had to change the way that worked. That one flower is feeling kind of lonely. I want to add another one. Maybe down here. It's really busy. I want the small one. There we go. Whoops. See, this is the case where we've got this data pack that gives different variations of the flowers, but I have no control. It's just a matter of what block in the world is assigned what version. Had a good stream over on Infinity Cove, working on a viewer redeem for Kel Birdie, anchoring a lumberyard tree farming area. That's really cool. A build, viewer, redeem. And of course, Kel Birdie is a member of this community as well. That's great. I'm glad. It's always cool to see the folks that follow me also follow some of the other streamers like Elkhorn, Hunter555. I'm not gonna be able to name everybody. Cosmic streams from Infinity Cove sometimes. But yeah, there's a number of people that stream from Infinity Cove, my patron server. So for folks that might be interested, if you're listening to this and thinking like, what is Joel talking about? So if you support me on Patreon, which helps me make more streams like this, then you can have an option, depending on your level of support, to join Infinity Cove, which is a patron server. So it's just all people from my community that are playing together on a server. It's very similar vibe to the Citadel. Like, it's vanilla, but it's got some data packs and some quality of life mods and things like that. But also, like, if people are just interested in joining the Discord and just checking out the community, then you can also do that at Patreon. It's only $2 a month for Patreon Discord access, less than the price of a cup of coffee. And I can't remember what Infinity Cove is. I think it's $10 US a month. But it's an incredible support for me, and then of course you get to hang out with all these cool people in the server. Whoops. Yeah, this is where I want like a short version of grass. I would like to have a grass block, we'll say, that would be half that height. Especially if we can control it. Like, if we could trim those and get them down to half, I'd be okay with that. Although that would make it a kind of a problem to harvest more grass if you were making it. I think we are going to leave that there. I think I should also come in here maybe with a couple of buttons. I feel like we could probably get away with a stone. What other things could we put down here? I know that we could have oh, I might have some already. Yes. Oh, no, we don't. Maybe some wood buttons to maybe look like roots along the path. Kind of helps with a little bit of transition, brings some of this gray, you know, down the way. I feel like a brown one would be good there. This path hasn't really been textured very well. I guess I probably was leaving it until it was all the greenery was done. I mean, that's really close to finished. I don't think there's much more that I want to do here. I don't want to overpower the entrance here. Got a nice edge along here. I think we might be moving on to the path now. This feels a little sparse, maybe? I'm wondering if this needs to be made path. We'll look at that when we adjust the path, I think. Sometimes you just have to go back and forth until you find something that you like. Maybe I can work in another one of these little bushes through here. Maybe that's what it needs. I wish they were transparent, but they're not. Not quite. I think that works. It's either that or maybe here. Oh, I like that better. The flower by itself feels really lonely. I'm wondering if we can do a little bit more with it. Yeah, I guess that's okay. The more I you know, think about the pink petals, like the more I want to have that ability with other colors, you know? Did I use all the other ones? What did I do with them? Maybe I put them in here? Oh, I did. I think that works. It's subtle. What I like about it is that you can control it and not have it go up against the edge of the path if that's what you don't want. You know? I think that's cool. I wonder if I can get away with a sapling here. See, they feel a little bit too like planted garden in some ways when you see them from the side. See, that feels more like wildflowers now. Well, thanks again, Dan, for the raid. I really appreciate it. Not Dan, sorry, Elkhorn. My bad. Look at the chat, and I saw the wrong name. For folks that are not following Elkhorn95 already, please go ahead and do that. They are a mighty member of my community, and I really appreciate the back and forth and the sharing of the viewers. And do we have a list? I didn't see if there was a list of Infinity Cove streamers in chat. I think we have one for the for the commands. But if I can find, I'll take one. I'll take a look at my break, see if I can find something, so people can go follow other members of the community. And what's cool about that is, like, if you're thinking about supporting, you're thinking about joining Infinity Cove, then you you can ultimately check out the server for free by watching people that stream from it, right? Just get a little trail of pink. So there's a couple of things I'm trying to do here. One, I don't want this to stand out too much, so I'm trying to pepper things around. But also, I've talked about this before. I'm thinking about, like, the path of the eye. So we've got a lot of green and a lot of gray. We've got green framing the path, right? But then if you come in here and you see, maybe you don't see this stuff right away, but if you see this purple and pink here, it flows and points you towards the other stuff, right? So it kind of like pulls your eye down that way in an interesting kind of like S-curve. So that's entirely intentional. I'm not just randomly placing stuff around, for folks that might be wondering. And I think that's good. I don't want to overdo it. All right, I'm going to go take that break since we had a chance to kind of hang out here. Mini Pax is planning on coming back. Right, yes. At the moment, active streamers are Elkhorn, Hunter, and Cosmic. And Mini Pax is potentially coming back. Okay, cool. Watching Covers is what swayed me into coming on. That's really cool, Storm Dance. Thanks for that feedback. That's nice to know. That's the current crew, Elkhorn. Okay, cool. Appreciate that. Yeah, if I don't see a link in the commands, then I'll make one. If you folks want to hang out for a little bit, I'm going to take a short 5 or 6 minute break. This is normal for me midstream. Oh, there is a Covers command. Thanks, Elkhorn. There it is. There's a link to everybody. Except for it looks like Cosmic is missing from that list. All right, so we have to update. Needs to be updated. Cool. Thanks, Elkhorn. Needs to add Cosmic, and we need to remove Dan. Okay. Well, I'm going to take that short break. I do this once an hour if you're new to the stream. Gives you a chance to go grab a drink, a snack, maybe even a friend. We're always trying to grow the channel. I appreciate you spreading the word and letting people know we have a nice chilled time here. And I'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. hear a wandering trader. Might be worth checking out, actually. Because we are now in 1.20. I might be able to trade for some new blocks. Have to see here. I also need to rearrange some of my audio on OBS. Anything related to 1.20? So we already have enough of everything else. Does not look like it. Nope. We're good. There's a zombie somewhere, though. Heard him. Where can you... Oh, he's inside there. Where in here are you spawning? Maybe on one of the rafters? Or maybe he wandered in? That could be it too. Thanks, Dan. Now, did you wander down? You wandered down right in my way. That was a poor decision. I hate doing it, but they stand directly in your eye line the entire time. Alright, let's get rid of that. I'll actually take the leather, seeing as we need books for hanging bookshelves and things. Not hanging, chisel bookshelves. I almost want to leave this as a warning. I'm not worried about that. Okay, so we're going to switch gears. I think I'm done with all the greenery along here. I don't think there's anything more I want to add. We could maybe, you know, do a little bit here and there, but mostly I think we're good. I think what's changed is like some of my techniques have changed since I did this years ago, just this little bit. I feel like the moss carpet gives a little bit of depth. Yeah, that's fine. All right, I think we're done. So now we can just work on the path, but that's going to mean dumping all my inventory back in here. Flowers go back. Let's actually keep those. I guess we'll leave some here and some in there. Sure. Do I have room for these anywhere? Not really. Didn't bring the moss blocks. Maybe I can take some of these and put them in the moss. Shulker box. Did I not bring it? Maybe I didn't bring it. Probably just brought out the moss on my own. Oh, right. We haven't really looked at the wall either. I'll have to look at the wall and see if there's anything we want to change there. I'll keep that. I don't think we're going to need roots or mud, but coarse dirt, slabs, maybe soul sand. And maybe some oak here and there. Although there's not that much. I think I did a pretty good job of texturing these over here. Yeah, I think I'm going to need some spruce wood and some oak wood. So we'll go get those shulkers. I'm glad I didn't move everything out of here when I redesigned this basement, because it's nice to have things so close by. Cool. And there's a moss box somewhere? Oh, you know what? It's up high. I do have it out there. It's just it's not where I thought it was. I'm so used to putting my shulker boxes on the ground. I think I did something sneaky and I hung them from the door frame of this little boathouse. Yeah, there's the moss there. I don't have room for that there. Okay. Yeah, so I think that this might have to change here on the edge. Let's put these down. I'm thinking I might remove these two. Maybe even this one. Guess it doesn't really matter. So what I'm trying to do is just break up some of the texture a little bit. Maybe try to sneak in some darker stuff closer to the edges where I can. Oh, that's going to be the other way. I feel like I did something like this over near the west gate. I should go look at that. Oh, I've got some dark oak in there too. Now this is a taiga forest, so it's a little bit darker. Yeah, a little bit of gravel, some dark oak. If you use your imagination, you can sort of imagine it being like compressed. Over there, it's like compressed pine straw, you know? But over here, that might be the darkest we want to go. And I really like the rooted dirt next to moss. Sometimes, though, it feels a little bit funny. Oh, I forgot to get some buttons, too. Might be able to make something look like it has a root. Right here, I thought it would look probably... maybe... yeah. I guess we'll have to address that side too. I never thought about that. Do I want to go lighter here? Or do I want to go darker? I think we want to go lighter. I like to think about these as like sometimes people put planks or logs down at the bottom of embankments to kind of like make it less muddy or make it easier to travel, you know, so you don't slip. So I try to come up with reasons for the textures, not just random textures. I really liked packed mud in pathing. I think it looks really, really good. I'd love to do a desert build where I could use more of these beige and lighter colors rather than all the brown dirt that you see so often in normal kind of green biome builds. We might be able to get away with a darker block here. A little distracting. Maybe we'll do planks instead. Although that looks a little bit funny. What do I have? Maybe we'll do that. Yeah, that's better. Unfortunately, I don't have anything I can do with slabs except for maybe a little bit of spruce slabs. Storm Dance, thanks so much for hanging out. Appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And we'll see you back here tomorrow, hopefully. Whoops. I think I have to change the direction on this. Oh, but then it doesn't work well with the button. Wish we had more neutral slabs, not just planks, but like stripped stripped wood slabs. Usually you use dirt path because it's easy and cheap. Yeah, that's fair. And that's the thing, like you could use the dirt path, like the actual, you know, path block in a desert, because it would match, you know, like if you used that color, it would match with a bunch of other stuff. You'd have a little bit of a challenge with the drop in terms of the height of the block, but I think it would still work. It's a little bit too much, maybe. I want to go get some gravel, I think, and see if I can't pepper in a little bit of just natural gravel. Minecraft Melee stripped wood slabs would be brilliant. Let's go. Yeah. I think the problem, of course, is that if they did that, they'd have to add it to every single wood type in the game, right? Like that just, it creates all kinds of things. In a way, I think that's one of the things that the modded community has, it kind of shoots itself in the foot, because some stuff, like if you really, really want to play with stripped wood slabs, you could absolutely, and we could on the server, like because we run Fabric for performance issues, it gives us the option to include mods. But because I do the Spawn Chunks podcast, and because I want to try and have more of a vanilla Minecraft experience to the best of my ability, I stay away from just tweaking everything, because otherwise you really end up basically running modded, right? Like it becomes less of an obvious vanilla playthrough, you know? It's a little bit too repetitive, maybe. I think one is okay. I don't want to overdo it. So here, what I like about this is that you can see, for a split second, you can see both of them, that one and this one, out of the corner of your eye, and it balances things out nicely. Yeah, I do want something up here, I think. Maybe closer to this end. I feel like I've done this before, but yeah, I think that works. That works. Oh, Stardust, yeah. We've talked about the idea of an inventory update in Minecraft many, many times on the Spawn Chunks podcast. Do we think we want to move this here? That's something we want to do. Yes, I think it is. A little bit of gravel down there. And maybe a wood plank. Oh no, they have a different angle. I wonder if I can get away with like a mossy stone here. Either a brick or cobblestone. Yeah, I think I can totally get away with that. I think that's a nice, kind of balances it out there. I think that could be something that works. Maybe we'll even do a little bit of that. I think I like the mossy cobble better. As if this used to be just a stair, but it's just expanded over time, you know? That works. All right, I think the path is done. So the only thing I need to do now is just maybe address this little patch here on the left and this here as well. I'd like the sorter mod to get a standard. What's the sorter mod? Does that like arrange your inventory, like sort things out? In a way, like, you know, inventory management is part of the game. So I get why they don't have that like automatically in there. But I do feel like they could do a little bit more. As long as like sorting your inventory wouldn't affect your hotbar. Like I wouldn't want this to all get thrown up into my inventory, but organizing everything in this space would be cool. Satisfactory does that. Satisfactory has a separate inventory for your person, and then there's an inventory for your, I can't remember what they call it, personal pocket dimension. I mean, obviously Satisfactory is a sci-fi game and they take some creative liberty, but yeah, it's pretty cool. With the amount of items in that game and how complicated it gets, it's nice to be able to sort things, you know, alphabetically or whatever. I need to get back into grass, ferns. I think that's about it, right? Moss block. So I just need to add a little bit of layering here. We'll go with maybe a little bit of that there, some grass. Maybe that would be better if it was an azalea bush. Yeah, like not a lot, just need to touch it up a little bit. Fill in some gaps here. Whoops. Actually, we can probably get away with a cracked stone in there, now that I look at it. Ties it in a little bit with the building next to it. Makes this area feel a little bit more put together. Too much. What's underneath here? It's coarse dirt. Really wish we had mossy dirt. That's exactly what I want in this space, is mossy dirt. So here, because we're no longer dealing with the inside, I feel like I can go with some mossy cobble. And I don't think I have any out here. I think I brought it all inside and put it away. So we're gonna go get some. The mod organizes stuff inside your chest automatically. Or alphabetically, rather, yeah. Stardew Valley has an inventory sorter. I've never played Stardew Valley. I own it, but I've never even loaded it up. Sparse grass sounds like a thing that should exist. Yeah, we were talking earlier about having grass that would be half as tall, which I know you can do with like a randomizer texture pack, but then you don't have the control over it, right? Let's go with one of each here. Now I'm going to bring, I think, that over there. I think I might switch these. That softens that corner a little bit. See, this is where I would want shorter grass. That is a space where I would definitely want shorter grass. Might be out of grass. Very close to it. We've been thinking about clearing this area for a graveyard anyway, so it's a good spot to come just to kind of refill quickly. That should be fine. I mean, like a dirt block which doesn't have a full grass surface on top, something more patchy. Oh yes, I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, like in the same way that we have mossy, we've got like mossy cobble and mossy stone brick. It would be cool if we had mossy dirt. Because I think if you put that next to grass, it would look like it would bleed into it. I've seen some people do that with texture packs, but then that just feels like, rather than artistically doing it, the game just does it everywhere, and it still looks like a straight line to me. So if you can control it with a mossy block, what would be really cool is if, similar to the way that pink petals work, if you could have a mossy block that had like more on one side and less on the other, and it was directional, that would be cool. Do I still have the stone button? I don't think I do. Sometimes you just need a little bit. It makes all the difference. Nice. It's a little plain here, but I don't want it to pull away from the experience of walking up to the gate. So I guess the last thing I need to do is just check along here to see if I need to adjust any of the andesite. Maybe we'll throw in one here. I think we might need an extra stone brick maybe. Yeah, that helps. Little hint of andesite in there, the polished andesite. Maybe we can throw another one of those in there too. Going to be able to need to see in order to finish this though. Yeah, I like the idea of more inventive ways to add texture to blocks. Like the pink petals is a really good example because you don't have to use all of them. You know, like you can make them thicker, you can do one, you can change the direction, and it really helps it look like they, in the same way that a plant would spread, like you can kind of control how you want it to go. I think it worked really well over here too, right? So I can make sure that these pink flowers are on the same corner as this flowering azalea sapling. And so rather than having them be over there or over here, it feels like it makes more sense. And I have control over that, which I think is really cool. So this is really subtle, but I think worth it. I think maybe I will add one more up here, and that'll be it. Unless this might look better. Switched around. Actually, maybe we'll do both. I get very like spiky sometimes with these, and I'm trying to get a little bit better at that. You try to make them random, and then they don't end up looking random at all. And I think we will maybe move this. Looks like it's attached to the vine, which I don't like. Oh, that's not good either. Maybe we'll just put it over here by a block. Yeah. And I think to keep it a little bit different, let's add in a little bit of cracked bricks just to have it be a little bit different. Maybe I can find one more. Weirdly, that looks fine there. It's probably because it's touching the andesite, you know? Let's turn that one into a cracked brick on the side there. Would make sense. It's up high, probably gets a lot of wind and rain. Hey, Lapelia. First discovered you last month with a Gemini Tay raid, and I've been watching old streams from YouTube. Loved the vibe and chill building style. Oh, thanks very much. That's very kind of you. And a huge compliment if you are a fan of Gemini Tay, and you've also decided to be a fan of me. Like, that's a huge compliment. Gemini Tay is just lovely. Fellow Canadian too, and they've been on the Spun Chunks podcast a couple times with me. That was really fun, really fun. Tried to have them back the last time that Pixel Riffs was on vacation, but her dog Winnie was still very much a puppy and needed full-time attention. So, also, Dan, I looked it up, and Squealed, I looked it up on my break. It's just called desensitization training. When you take a dog to like a shopping mall or a busy spot. I couldn't find a way to get it more concise, but cool. I think that is good and done. Let's put this stuff away there, and I've got grass, moss. It is fun to be organized. That is for sure. Shoot. And flowers were over here. All right. Doop, 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 doop. I do not want to leave any of these behind. These are all very important shulkers. Make sure we have everything picked up. Nice. Very cool. I think we can warrant a look with some shaders. So that is the south lawn finished. Very much looking forward to the next step in the process. That is also where I'm going to wrap it up today. That's all I have time for. But I hope you've enjoyed hanging out. Lapelia, sorry if you just arrived. It's a slightly shorter stream for me today. As I was explaining at the start of the stream, I've been up since a very early start this morning, which was not by choice. Thunderstorm woke me up. But this is the south lawn finished. I think that's pretty cool. I think it works. I think it doesn't overpower. It makes it feel like it's been touched by the player, you know, it's not been forgotten about. Has a lot of nice little path of the eye bits. I really like this area here. This is probably my favorite. Feels very special and looks good from other angles too. Like if you back up over here and look over this way. Yes, Dan, that's actually where we're heading to. Yeah. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of work on the other side, on the docks over there. And we might be able to bring in some green or something to maybe balance that out a little bit. But for now, I think we're good. I like that I've been able to texture this path and turn the corner and have it look pretty seamless as well. I think that works out quite well. If you'd like to see more of this kind of stuff, you can check out the VODs on Joel Duggan VODs on YouTube. You can also listen to the Spawn Chunks podcast every Monday, and the Citadel Cafe podcast happens as often as I can. I'm trying to get back to a weekly schedule, but as of right now, it kind of comes out once or twice a month. But all free, all on your favorite podcatcher. You can follow wherever you want. TheCitadelCafe.com and the SpawnChunks.com are both the websites for it, but they're on every platform that you listen to a podcast on. If you prefer Spotify or YouTube or whatever, you can find it everywhere. Speaking of YouTube and things we were talking about earlier, if you want to see more of the Citadel, all of this has been archived on YouTube, this entire build. That's at Joel Duggan VODs on YouTube. You can also check out the Patreon page and some of the other members of the community that also stream. Thanks again to Elcor95 for the raid today. Really much appreciate it. We can show folks over to the Infinity Cove server, which is my patron server. Patreon.com/JoelDuggan for any and all support. If you'd like to join the Discord, maybe even a Minecraft server, whatever you're looking for. It's less than the price of a cup of coffee at the base level, and then you can decide from there. But I very much appreciate it. It is because of you folks that I get to do this, and y'all are awesome. Speaking of awesome, we're going to pass you along to Tadpole Milk, a member of Halcyon Heights, and a jolly old elf, if he doesn't mind me saying so. I think you'll have a good time. Increase the laughter in your afternoon with Tadpole Milk and more Minecraft. We'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock Atlantic. That's UTC minus 3 hours. Bye for now, folks. Have a great Saturday. See you tomorrow.